Hey, welcome to the Handy Guys podcast, and up next we're going to talk about eyewear for the handy guy.
All right.
So Brian, one of the most important aspects of doing handiwork around the house, of working with power tools, is what?
The safety glasses, right?
Right.
I mean, we hear it all the time.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously doing the project right, but safety glasses.
You want eye protection. And Brian, I contend that one of the most important aspects about eye protection is comfort.
That's
Simply
right.
put, comfort.
I mean, between the two of us, we've gone through, I don't know how many hundreds of pairs of different kinds of safety glasses.
Remember
right?
these? This is like the old science class.
Well, I was looking for those rubber ones, you know, with the elastic around the back of your head. I couldn't find, I used to have a pair of them. They're long gone.
Let me just get right to the point, Brian. I recently did a project. I put in a wood floor in my pantry.
Right.
And I was doing a lot of cuts. I was walking out to the garage, cutting wood, coming back in, using a pneumatic nailer, nailing it, and I wanted eye protection. I wanted ear protection as well. And I had this pair of glasses, which you purchased for me recently on a project we were working on. You picked them up.
Right.
We bought these, okay?
Yeah.
They weren't given to us or anything like that. And I just happened to grab them. They were the nearest things.
Right.
I didn't think anything of it. Well, later that day, 5 o'clock that day, late after I had them on for 8 hours, I'm like, you know what? I've had these on all day.
Right.
And that never happens.
Right. You're always taking them off. You're putting them on your forehead.
You do something. And
you're doing this.
And a lot of times it's because, not to pick on any one brand, but because they're just not comfortable. You get them on and you're like, these are awkward. They're not comfortable.
Or they scratch or they get dirty or something like that.
Well, these were so comfortable that I was able to keep them on. Now, they have a soft nose piece. Mm-hmm. And they also don't have around the ears, which I normally would have thought I would like.
Right.
But these stayed on my head. And because they don't have the around the ear part, I noticed when I wore ear protection, it went over them and it didn't, push them off every time I had to put, put these down, put them up over my ears, which I also used for my, it was really loud, the hammer that I was using. So I had that, and these just stayed on, and that, in my opinion, is the most important aspect of safety glasses. If you're going to go to a store to look for safety glasses, make sure you can try them on.
Right, right. So where did I get those? I got those at a gun range, actually, of all places.
Right, so you didn't get them at where you'd expect.
No, I didn't get them at the hardware store. What I did was, I knew we were doing a program for Frost King, and we needed to wear safety glasses for that video. And I was sick of these that were all scratched and beat up and everything. And I passed a gun range on the way to your house. I went in, I just picked up a couple pair. They weren't that expensive. They were maybe 20 bucks. I got that one, and I got a slightly different style. I think it might have been the same brand.
This brand is called a Radiance Rock.
Radiance
Rock may be the style, but I noticed it on the side. And in my opinion, it was just one of the most comfortable safety glasses I've ever worn.
Right, so that's key. You can find them lots of different places. I actually have some that I got specifically for my motorcycle.
Some safety glasses.
Some glasses, because sometimes I don't wear a full face helmet, and I actually need kind of goggles to keep my contact lenses from drying out.
Wear something like this on your motorcycle?
No, I do have a full face helmet. Sometimes I don't wear it. And if I'm riding at night,
how's that?
I can actually change out the lens on these from a tinted lens to a clear lens.
Right.
And there's a little gasket I can put on there so it can seal up tight around my eyes. It's like goggles, like when you're skiing.
Are those prescription, or are they?
You can get them prescription.
Oh, okay.
Right. These are because I wear contact lenses. Now you think they look a little goofy. Maybe they do.
Do you have a sidecar on that motorcycle?
I do not. I do not. But when I'm riding at night, the clear lenses is great, and I've used these while weed whacking or something like that. But usually I'll go for a more traditional.
I think these are a little more stylish, actually.
Okay. Well, I mean, these are a big name brand, and these were very expensive, but they're,
If the other thing I like, if you can get it with a strap. So these may not be always as comfortable, but at least I can take them off. They're right there. Because the biggest problem is if they're not comfortable, you put it down.
Right.
And then when you go to do that next dangerous operation, you go to need to make another cut of wood or whatever. You can't find them, and you just start doing it anyway without eye protection.
So what about something like these, Paul? We got these a while ago from from a guy who invented these. He sent them to us. They actually have ear protection built into the glasses.
So I have two different earplugs because they were falling off, and I think he said he was working on that. But yeah,
it's an interesting idea because you often need ear protection at the same time you need eye protection. The problem, and you can flip out the ear protection.
Yeah, they work as both ear and eyes.
Right.
Or you can straighten these if you just need eye protection. You can straighten them and wear them as eye protection. They also come, this is another pair that's tinted, missing the ears, so they have tinted versions. But yeah, so, you know, my opinion on these, Brian, is I like to throw these in with my lawnmower because you need kind of both when you're working with a lawnmower, and I just leave it with it, and it's nice, it's handy, you always have it. But for working long term, like I was putting in a wood floor working all day, I find these aren't nearly as comfortable, and these earplugs don't provide nearly the ear protection as something that goes over the ear like this. And for me, they never really fit my ear very well.
And then the last kind of thing you have is something like this. So this is like a full face mask. Now I can't hear a thing, because I got these ears on.
The ear protection on that is amazing on those.
But you know, so you got a full face shield. So when you're doing chainsaw work or something like that, that's what these are designed for.
It's going to protect your entire face, and they make, you know.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said there, Paul.
So yeah, that's particularly for a chainsaw. And you can actually wear both. In fact, you ought to. If you're using a chainsaw, you also should have glasses on because little pieces could get through this. So,
or come up around the side or something like that.
So that's for, you know, you can get masks like this for major protection when you need it. But, you know, obviously if you can get, you know, they make glasses that protect around the side and everything, and that's better. But like I said when I started the show, my opinion, get something that's comfortable. If you have it on, you're better off than there's something that's uncomfortable that you're always taking off, throwing away, throwing to the side or whatever. So there you have it. Eye protection for the handy guy. Make sure you have it. Look for something that's comfortable.
Make sure it's going to fit.
And you know, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but make sure you always have it handy. Put it in your toolbox, protect it, and use it.
All right.
There you have it. Thanks for watching the Handy Guys podcast. We'll be back next time.
Thanks.